Being born as one of God's most powerful allies to now becoming the king of hell and was named Satan, this character has been evolving his time as ruler of evil. But what does it take for the ruler of evil to become human and act moral when he finally meets the human eye? Everyone fears him because he is the god of evil. Not only he was the god of evil, but he became the representative of the very first fallen angel, and his name was Lucifer, morning star, aka the devil or Satan according to the Bible. But we're not talking about the Satan in Christian folklore or Roman Catholic beliefs. No, no. We are talking about the Netflix series based on that said bibliological figure. We're talking about Tom Ellis's character Lucifer. So, let's talk about the TV series Lucifer. Lucifer is a Netflix crime fantasy series that basically shares the same timeline as The Flash, which released in 2014. This drama TV series became one of the most popular TV shows in Christian history. Why? Because many people thought that this was just a funny adaptation of how the devil would act in human life. Being able to witness and understand the physiologically realisticness of how a human would behave, Lucifer tells the story of a fallen angel named, well, himself, of course, voiced by the legendary actor Tom Ellis, living in the famous city of angels, which is the Spanish term translation of the city of Los Angeles of California, the very well-known location for other famous movies such as the Fast and Furious franchise and pretty much the home of Hollywood. But what Hollywood ever tells you is that the devil is finally being placed in Netflix. Yes, seriously, we're talking about Lucifer, played by Tom Ellis. What makes the Netflix series version of this character is that it's just far more realistic and rather hilarious because the character seems to be pretty much a sarcastic and less impressionate character with a lot of boringness that derives him to becoming the devil. I mean, he is the devil himself. We are talking about Tom Ellis's character, Lucifer here. In fact, one of my most favorite aspects of the show is just that it's basically the anti-version of what Lucifer is portrayed in real life. I mean, this version of Lucifer, yes, it still pretty much follows the Bible's rules, but with a plot twist, it actually gives you that comedic drama and fantasy that really drives the character forward. This TV series version of Lucifer is far more better than the real Satan depiction in the Bible. I mean, how can I not talk about the Bible if we're not talking to the devil? No, not the devil according to the Bible. We're talking to the devil according to the series of the same biological figure that once became the very first fallen angel to rule hell, and that is Lucifer, played by Tom Ellis. Although this character remains the most sarcastic being that I ever seen as a TV series, the whole reason for this character being so realistic compared to what many people's view really depicted him. I mean, for a real life situation, Lucifer is depicted as the king of hell, ruler of the demons, and he is basically the creator of evil because he is the first fallen angel to become evil and turn his back on God. And boy, God really punishes him by dragging him downward. And when we say downward, that means one thing. Lucifer is now known as the king of hell. Because, Lucifer may be the devil in the Bible, but according to the series just portrays him as something funny, sarcastic, and yet one of the most endearing characters in a TV animated trope. Unlike previous thriller films who portrays the devil as purely as close that to the Bible, but the series depicted him something far more different. What really makes Lucifer so different is that, according to what Christians believe, Tom Ellis is revealed to talk in a more British styled voice, which is kind of true because the devil and God, they basically talk British. I mean, this could be likely an obvious trope that both of these two sides basically play two oppositions. One is the creator of good, and the other one is just the creator of sin. And what I understand about Lucifer's topic about being treated almost the same as a human being in the show is far more realistic than somebody just portraying the devil as evil. I mean, despite Lucifer being called evil in the Bible, this series just depicts him as sometimes an anti hero or sometimes an anti villain. I mean, what's the purpose between that two sides? Those meanings could portray Lucifer as Tom Ellis as something far else. Lucifer pretty much still acts like a bad guy because he is an anti-hero because the devil is revealed to be the anti-version of God. And but despite all of Lucifer's doings in the series, he is still pretty much a good person. That also makes him an anti-villain. Kind of pretty much like Tom Hardy's Venom because both Venom and Lucifer share a more anti-villainous but sometimes also an anti-heroic personality. But judging how those two sides ever work, it just makes clear sense. Lucifer and Venom share almost the exact same traits as any other villain or hero has ever been portraying them. And what I truly understand about these two sides playing a different type of role is just far more different. But what does it take to become the thing that you basically hate most? Would you rather be an anti-hero or an anti-villain? Well, most characters have a gray moral in life. There are a few reasons on how an anti-hero is played. Kevin 11, for example, is the anti-hero version of Ben 10 because, you know, the names almost look similar, but guess what? Despite Kevin being a bad guy, he pretty much still helps the protagonist anyway. And an anti-hero like, you know, Luna Girl or Romeo or even Night Ninja in the PJ Masks, they were pretty much anti-heroes but still pretty much portrayed as villains. But put that on Lucifer's perspective. I mean, both Lucifer and Luna Girl are seen portrayed as anti-heroes and sometimes anti-villains, which means they only balance one equilibrium side, and that is they both share the same anti-heroicness and anti-villainous roles that plays around in the shows. I mean, look at Lucifer. He's evil because he is the devil. He is the king of the demons. There's Luna Girl, who is basically a supervillain who also sometimes acts as a hero. But for Lucifer, he is sometimes portrayed as an anti-hero. Despite his wrongdoings, he is still coping to forgive the people who have wronged him and forgive the people who have committed sin. And as the story progresses in the series, the Lucifer series doesn't just portray Lucifer as a king of badness. It's just portraying the devil in the pretty much alternate light compared to what we believe in Christian folklore. And what the series Lucifer ever tells you is that it's just purely misunderstood. Lucifer is misunderstood by many, but being treated as something far worse is by far the most wrongful thing to do. I mean, Lucifer may be portrayed as a bad guy. I mean, I don't blame him. Although he has been committing multiple crimes throughout every film series, but the Netflix series version of Lucifer portrays him as something else. He is just, well, an anticlimactic supervillain who just gets all of the fame by just manipulating life all around him. And in fact, that morale just makes Lucifer wonder. Sometimes being bad doesn't mean that you have to be bad by being influenced on what others call you. And in fact, Lucifer shows that redemption is just the best way on how to treat people with respect. I mean, a villain can be bad, but that doesn't mean that they have to go all of that trauma. And in fact, the life of being a supervillain is tragic because people tend to mistreat you, they bully you, they torment you until you realize one social fact that does come in between. Redemption is just the way how many people feel when they go bad. I mean, take a look at Megamind. He's sometimes portrayed as an outcast, and then he suddenly creates a bad guy. That's just a bad guy broken by society itself. And then there's Balthazar Brat in Despicable Me 3, who basically got his TV show cancelled due to becoming an adult man. And taking revenge, that is just worse. You see, there's a whole morality in TV shows that the characters face, and that is physical and psychological trauma. I mean, take a look at what that could mean. Psychological trauma, that means it's basically a psychological torment or torture that many people endure when they are being bullied at a young age or simply being forgotten or being abused by other people and then taking revenge on them as a bad guy. But for Lucifer, that is something different. You see, Lucifer, played by Tom Ellis, is by far my second favorite character. In fact, I'm gonna be showing you guys what it's like to love a redeemed character who was from being a pure villain to becoming a pure good. And in fact, my number one TV character is gonna be coming on the next time I make a new video. And Lucifer is now going to be starting this role first. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you go comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time.